Let's begin by settling the body, adopting a stable, comfortable, upright position, serviceable for meditation. So we think about keeping our feet flat and our back straight, torso open, hands in the lap, right over left, with the palms upturned and the thumbs gently touching. Our eyes are gently closed or slightly open, making sure we let in enough light to remain alert. We try to maintain an awareness of not slouching, not leaning. We also let go of any unnecessary tension or rigidity in the body, relaxing into a stable, comfortable, upright position, just allowing the body to fall into place. And begin to let go of attending to the outside world, allowing sights and sounds to be as they are. No need to investigate. Constraining our awareness just to the body and mind. Concentrating that awareness in the present by attending closely to the physical sensation of the air as it moves into and back out of the tip of the nostrils. Noticing quickly when anything other than that one physical sensation is arising in the mind, and then without judgment or frustration, lifting our awareness up from those distractions and placing it gently but firmly again and again on the breath. And then when the mind feels more calm, we'll generate a broad and altruistic motivation for our time, trying to embrace countless sentient beings within the field of our practice. So we think that everything that the Buddha taught was to understand dissatisfaction and its causes, and the elimination of dissatisfaction and its causes, as this is the primary drive that runs the show for every sentient being, the wish to be happy, the wish to be free of suffering. And the Buddha provided reliable, repeatable, attainable methods that are still understood 2,600 years later, still practiced. There are still great masters alive in our world, showing the path, beings even to whom we can receive teachings and ask questions, get guidance. So there is only our own effort, our own application of the teachings that differentiates us between, differentiates between ourselves and enlightened beings. Everything else is present in the world. And the purpose of achieving that result isn't only for oneself alone. The purpose ultimately is to be able to turn the wheel of Dharma for other sentient beings, as the Buddha has done for us, to guide them in the same way that we are guided. So generate that sense of confidence in having everything needed, and that sense of responsibility that one must still bring one's own effort, combined with the understanding of the purpose is to be of benefit rather than to be benefited. I think that's the purpose of our time. With that motivation, today we begin contemplating the 7-point cause and effect method of achieving the mind of bodhicitta, one of the two main methods. So we begin by briefly refreshing the mind in equanimity, the ground from which bodhicitta can grow, recollecting that right now our minds are partial. We find it easy to benefit our friends, more difficult to benefit strangers, and sometimes impossible to benefit people who act against our interests. But these designations are simply the operation of the ego. And they are fickle and changeable, superficial, as all of these sentient beings are simply suffering sentient beings, all equally deserving of love and compassion. Try to generate that mind, that willingness, that insight. The first step in the 7-point cause and effect method is to see every sentient being as having been one's mother, one's father, one's caregiver. So I think over beginningless past lives, in many, many of those lives, we came into existence on the basis of having a mother and father, having been born again and again, endlessly, in all of the various realms of existence. And although the number of sentient beings is incalculable, it's said to be less than truly infinite. And so, given the truly infinite number of past lives, and given a number of sentient beings somewhat less than truly infinite, then necessarily there are no sentient beings who haven't had the opportunity to be one's own mother, one's own father. And just in the same way as if one's own mother or father in this life has already passed, if we were to have a photograph of them and we were asked who they were, we would say, that is my mother, that is my father. So, not remembering our previous mothers and fathers doesn't invalidate them, nor does having died out of that life, neither their death nor our death. They did play that role. So think that your own father in this life has been your mother. Your mother in this life has been your father. So too your closest friends, strangers, people with whom you have conflict, and even all of the beings of the animal realm that you come across. In previous lives, all of those consciousnesses inhabited other forms, just as this consciousness has inhabited other forms. And again, over that infinite number of lifetimes, those roles have been changed again and again, such that those minds inhabited the forms of your own mother and father. And try to follow that reasoning. Try to develop a clear sense that there are no sentient beings who haven't had such opportunity. And then the second step is to recall the kindness shown to us by our mothers, our fathers, our caregivers. Recognize that even before we were born, there was a period of about 9 months when we were cared for, looked after, protected. Our mother endured hardships during this time, pains, inconveniences, trouble, getting up, getting down. she likely made an effort to eat the right things, to exercise, to remain healthy. Even during that time, she worried about our well being. And then she underwent the pain of labor and delivery. And then for years and years afterward, we were helpless, completely unable to obtain food or water independently, to provide for our own shelter. That food and water and clothing and shelter were provided by our parents. Our parents were also our first teachers, helping us to become more independent, to learn, to read, to write, to speak. They helped us learn our manners, our values, how to be in relation to others, how to cooperate. Our own lives are completely dependent on their kindness. It's a full-time, 24-hour, 7-day a week job. I use examples from your own life of the kindness shown to you by your mother, your father, their willingness to go out of their way. I think your own ability to practice the path is completely dependent on the protection that they provided. If thoughts of mistakes that were made arise, and just try to respond to that with forgiveness, compassion, recalling that they, like oneself, are ordinary sentient beings. And they, like oneself, make many mistakes. And try to absorb the mind in a sense of gratitude, recognizing that these sorts of kindnesses are the same that were also shown to oneself by every other sentient being in those infinite number of past lives. And then we'll pause the meditation here and we'll dedicate. So recollect your altruistic motivation and think that by having engaged in this contemplation, you've actualized that motivation, which has generated positive energy in your mind. And think that you freely offer the fruit of your practice, that positive energy, for the benefit of all sentient beings without exception. Thinking strongly when this positive energy ripens, may it serve as a cause and condition to eliminate war and conflict, poverty, famine, disease, disasters, all painful inner and outer conditions. May it fully ripen the minds of all sentient beings. May they quickly meet perfect teachers and arise in the state of full enlightenment. May I too achieve the state of enlightenment so that I might work for the benefit of sentient beings perfectly. May any obstacles facing the Guru's long life be completely dispelled. And may I and all sentient beings in this moment come under the joyful care and guidance of enlightened beings. May we be guided and protected until we swiftly achieve that state of enlightenment. Thank you.